Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. How you guys doing? I feel like y'all so far away. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. And you're crooked. How you guys doing this morning? Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamiche JoJo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope you guys are ready to get this day started. Let's get it. Okay, so I can't sing, but y'all get the gist of it. Good morning, Erica. How you doing, baby? Did you like Erica? You made me laugh real early this morning. Hold on. About my comment. Good morning, Carl. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Miss Erica. They were missing the whole point. So if you guys didn't see my post yesterday, last night I talked about Christians and let me read it to you so I can just tell it to you. So I said, many love to call themselves Christians until they have to do Christian things. Then there are rules and stipulations. And this is not my topic today, but Erica just reminded me because she laughed at me, is that sometimes we call ourselves Christians. And good morning, Charlene. Lynn, what happened to you? Where'd you go? And we call it, some people want to wear the title Christian only. They don't want to do the work that is required. There is work required. And here's what I was meaning. When you say, oh, I'm a Christian, and then you see somebody on the street that needs something and you refuse to stop. Yeah, we got to use discernment. Or you see your neighbor who needs something and you won't help them because I ain't got time, but she might do this, Jesus didn't say whatever they're going to do with it, that's your stipulation for not helping them. It says help them, and then whatever they do with it past that is not your business. Your business is to help because he said so. Now, yeah, we all have days where we all have sinned. None of us are perfect, which everybody was saying, Jojo, none of us are perfect. I totally get that, and I totally agree. That was not my point. And I don't need that. I'm praying for it. Let me tell you, you can pray for me, and I appreciate that. However, there's faith equals action. Prayer equals action. If you get off your knees, you need to get off your butt and go do the work. You can't be Christian in name only. And then if you're going to carry that title, you can't be self-imposing your own rules and stipulations to it. Good morning, Lynn.
Hey, I'm having technical difficulties. I came on, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear anything, and then all of a sudden my screen goes blank. So yeah.
Yeah, and Erica, honey, I don't think any of us can follow the rules, but I think it's our intent that matters. If your intent is great, then you are A-okay. I don't want anybody doing anything for me, praying for me, and you have malice in your heart against me. Period. And I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The financial slayer girl. Yes, that's what Lynn is.
In the house. What? Yeah. I like that, Erica. I'm gonna have to steal that one. Yes, the financial slayer.
That's what she is.
It reminds me, y'all, this is crazy, but y'all remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer when we were
Yep.
kids? I used to love that show. But anywho, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for
Good
joining us.
morning, Sharon.
Jojo, I love the quote that you tweeted out this morning, a
And
few
that's my
minutes
fearless
ago.
thought of the day.
Okay, awesome sauce. All right, so our quote today, y'all, is from Thomas Edison. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's repeat that one more time. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. How many times have you had an opportunity to do something and you were like, man, that would be awesome. But, right? Then fill in the blank. But I don't have time for that, right? I can't go and do all of that. I don't, it's whatever the excuse is, we'll put every excuse in the book in front of it instead of doing what it is that we need to do. Case in point, and I've shared this before, y'all, there have been plenty of opportunities, right? Plenty of opportunities. My mom, she would be sitting around the house when we were kids. She would have these ideas. Y'all, these were $1 million ideas. How do I know? Because I've seen them come to fruition. I've seen other people take the same things that we were talking about and actually go out there and be great with those ideas, guys. So continue. How do we now position ourselves so that we're no longer missing out on these opportunities? Because we have some amazing things within us, but how do we now pull them out? Because we don't want to continue to miss them because they're dressed in overalls and look like hard work.
That's right.
That's just our woosah moment for today. How do we do and think about things differently as we move forward? Well, y'all, I am super excited. We have a contest for you guys this morning. You want to go ahead and tell them about the contest this morning, JoJo?
I can. Good morning, everybody. That's right, Erica. That's why it's important to move quickly, honey. Act on it. Action is the key. And here's the thing, yes. As soon as you take action, the fear goes away because you're so focused on the action. Take action. Period. Good morning, everybody. So we do have for this week only, because y'all, this is my birthday month. First of all, can we say there's 28 days to my birthday? It's your birthday. Get busy. So, guys, for the 1st through the 8th, we are having a contest. We're going to be giving away tickets to the Great Escape Mini. That is June 16th here in Atlanta. And so there's 2 stipulations that you have to do. You have to go like the Fearless Morning Show homepage. And then you need to leave us 4-letter word this early. Yes, Trinda.
Yes.
You have to leave us one takeaway from the show, something that impacted you, or something that made you think, or something that made you want to go out and do something, anything that you learned. So 2 things to enter the contest. Well, really 3, but I'm gonna add a 3rd one. You got to share the morning show. You've got to go over and like the Fearless Morning Show homepage, and then you got to give us one takeaway, and then we will be picking a winner, some winners, for a free ticket to the June 16th event here in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Circle and Moon, the Great Escape Mini. So 3 things to win tickets, and share this with your friends. You got to like the Fearless Morning Show fan page. You got to share the video, and make sure you put #share so that we can follow you, and then give us one takeaway from the show, what you like, what you enjoy, what you learn, so that we know that we're giving you exactly what you need. I'm excited, and it's my birthday month, y'all.
You're so silly. You're gonna make me bust out in my song. Happy birthday.
Go ahead. Girl.
Don't. I ain't gonna do it. All right, y'all. So we won't miss any more opportunities this morning. Let's talk about the 5 reasons you are not investing and how you can get started. All right. What are those 5 reasons you're not investing in? And the case in point is, it's an opportunity, but it's dressed in overalls and it looks like hard work. First and foremost, let's just be real about it. But a couple of things I wanted to share with you before we get into this idea or this conversation around investing. I want to talk to you about your net worth. Do you know what your net worth is? Not only do you know what it is, and if you do know what it is, then are you tracking your net worth? Because hopefully your net worth is changing over time. You say, Lynn, what does that have to do with investing? Y'all, I have been reading a book, and you're gonna be like, how in the heck did you get to that point? I've been reading, I don't know if you guys can see this book, this is Estate Planning Basics. It's a book by Nolo. If you go to nolo.com,
I love them.
Online legal company that provides information. It gives you resources. Because a lot of us, we don't go out and buy a wheel because we say, oh, I'm not going to pay a lawyer to do that. or I don't have the money to pay a lawyer to do that. See, that's power in your words. We need to position that, no longer saying that I cannot afford it, now saying, how can I afford it? So the number one thing that I've been looking at, guys, is how can I help people afford to be able to do all these things that we need to do? Because there are so many different situations and circumstances that are happening in our lives that we need to take control of. So it's estate planning basics. Go to nolo.com for free resources online. You can either go purchase this book or go to your local library. I'm sure it's in your local libraries where they provide the information. It's about wills and trusts and how to avoid probate. Y'all, I was so excited reading this book. And this is not something you should be excited about, because typically death is not exciting, right? It's not an exciting time, because the only parts and portions of it that we focus on is the actual loss of the loved one, right? And I'm not belittling the act of loss. Trust me, I'm not. I've lost two siblings, right? In my lifetime, and many more people that I love in my family. So I'm not belittling that process by any stretch of the imagination. But I also know that there are so many things, and that's why the investing conversation is very important. But let me get back to our net worth. So I have a net worth tracking sheet, and I'll be willing to share this with anyone. And I know you guys can't read this, so I'm going to read off the things that are on this sheet that you need to be tracking. I'm going somewhere, so hang on with me for a minute. I know I'm going to tell you the 5 reasons you aren't investing, but there's some groundwork that needs to be laid, right? And there's some things that we need to be aware of. And once you become aware of these things, right, this starts to change your mental mindset around the things that you need to do. How do you now position yourself, right? A living will, yeah, you definitely need a living will. But dare I say, guys, from reading this book, a trust is the best thing since sliced bread, and you will be able to avoid probate. One of the things that we fail to recognize is even when you have a will, you still have to go through probate. And there still can be complications that are out there. But until you put things inside of a trust, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go
Then
through
let me
all of
just
that.
add one thing to that. I
Sure.
figured that out about 6-7 months ago, and I used Nolo because everywhere I went, they was like, "Oh, we can set up a trust for 5,000-6,000." Nolo
Yes.
has a software for $100, and you can set up a trust for as many people and do wills for as many people as you want for $100. I set up a trust for the family. I did wills for the entire family. And don't forget, you need some affidavits in there, and you need some a few other forms, but we'll talk about that another day. But the
Yes.
trust is the way to go.
Go to nolo.com, guys. They have a lot of resources on there. Some of them are free, some of them are for a small fee. And that small fee is a lot less expensive than what it's going to cost for you to go in and sit down with an attorney. Now, I'm
Yes.
not saying don't go sit down with an attorney, because for some people this is just too much. You won't take the time to actually do this, and you'll need to go to that trusted advisor. You'll need to go to that attorney to accomplish this. But for those of you who feel that you are not at the point where you're ready to go, this is how you can make it happen for your family for now until you do get to that point. So why am I having this conversation? You can't put together a will or a trust if you don't know your net worth, if you don't know what you own, right? So this net worth tracking sheet that I'm talking about, and it's actually an electronic document. I just printed it out so you guys can see it, because Facebook doesn't allow me to share my screen when we share in this way. So on this net worth tracking sheet, guys, and I've adapted it a little bit because I have 4 sections on mine. The 2 that I'll talk about first and foremost are your assets and your liabilities. And then you have a column, the ones for your income and your expenses are the other 2. Most people only put assets and liabilities on their net worth tracking sheet. But I also add income and expenses, and I adapted that from Robert Kiyosaki. Let me just be real. I didn't come up with this and try to make it up on my own, but this allows you to look at things differently, guys, when it comes to your finances. So what are those things that are in your assets category? Because a lot of times this is not a conversation that we have. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to actually go through those things that should be in your assets category versus what's in your liabilities category, so you have an overall a holistic idea. Because a lot of people say your assets and your liabilities, but I haven't been truly involved in a conversation where people actually go into the details around this. So if you're in a place where you can write these things down, or somebody type it into the comments so that other people can also see this, because this is not information that's only vital to us because we're here for the Fearless Morning Show. This is information that's not only important today, but this information that's important for generations to come. Guys, we're talking about building generational wealth, and how do we do this? We have to have a true picture, and this sort of starts to put us in the mindset of a financial statement, much like a business. I talk about that all the time. How do we position ourselves in our finances so that we're monitoring, we're regulating, we're understanding our financial situations from the same perspective that a business does, right? So in looking at this in the assets category, your assets are what you own, essentially, right? Okay, Trenda, thank you so much. Trenda's driving this morning. She usually types of things in the comments for us, but that's cool. Thank you for that note. Be safe. Don't be responding in the comments if you're driving, chick. All right. So looking at this, guys, your cash and your liquid assets could be like your cash, your bank accounts, any bonds, term deposits, investment certificates that you have. See, that's old school investment certificates. They don't do that anymore, right? They used to actually send you a paper certificate when you actually invest. So they don't have those investment certificates or those bond certificates like they used to have back in the day. I actually have some in the safe upstairs. I meant to bring those down to actually show you what it looks like, but everything's electronic these days, so you probably don't have those anymore. Marketable assets that you might have, any marketable assets, those are like your stocks, your real estate, your business interests, and other things. Your long-term investments, those would be like your savings, your retirement savings accounts. Any cash value that you have for life insurance policies. Pension plans and profit sharing. And I know pension plans are pretty much going away for many of us out here. However, if you were lucky enough to get in on the pension plan generation, then that also needs to go into your long-term assets. Now, guys, that's something else that's amazing too. They took away the pension plans because that was lifetime payments in retirement. They took those away and instituted the 401k, the IRAs, right? Where you had to put the money in for yourself.
That was when companies valued the employees, not the other way around.
Right. Exactly. And that's a completely different conversation. And we'll talk about that lesson too, because I'm getting a lot of questions about retirement accounts too. And we'll go through that as well. And I'm going to give you a little bit of history just so you'll have a better understanding as to why they do the things the way that they do. And then it helps you to position yourself and make better decisions. And then, of course, your personal assets would be your residence, right? Your home. Any recreational property you have or vacation home, vehicles, any equipment, recreational equipment, your household furnishings, all of these things, right? Any collectibles you have, artwork and things of that nature, all of those things go into your assets column. And what I ask you to do here on my tracking sheet, if you use this tracking sheet, is you'll track this over time. Just look at it once a month to see how things change, because hopefully those assets are growing in value, and that's something that you will be able to look at. And then, of course, your liabilities are what you owe, right? So the short-term debt would be those things like your credit card debts, any lines of credit or overdraft that you have that you may owe. If you owe on your car loan, then it also goes under an asset. And any unpaid bills, taxes, and things of that nature all go under those liabilities. Those are short-term debt. And then your long-term debt, of course, is your home mortgage. So you see your home was listed under your real estate, I'm sorry, as a marketable asset under your real estate investments, but it's also listed on your liabilities if you carry a mortgage on it, right? So that is going to adjust your net worth. Even though your home may be worth $200,000, $300,000, but you still owe $150,000 on your mortgage, then that means you really have $50,000 worth of equity in your home that would go towards the positive end, but you have a $150,000 on the liability that goes towards the negative side of your net worth, right? So that you go through and complete those mathematical equations. But guys, looking at your net worth is very important for us as we go through and we have this conversation. And we started out, yes, I'm going to get to the 5 reasons you are not investing, but it's very important that you understand and track your net worth, because this is going to allow you to be able to make those better decisions. Why are we not making the right decisions? Why are we not making those decisions in our investing, guys? Because oftentimes we have what is called information overload. There's so much information out there that's available to us. It's available to us for free. It's in our hands, right? It's on our smartphones. Those little mini computers in your hand, right? So would a life insurance be considered a part of your net worth? Life insurance that has cash value can be considered a part of your net worth. So life insurance that you're leaving to your family, that's for whole life insurance, that cash value that it bills. So when you're paying on that, when you pay the premium on that insurance, over time it bills cash value. So you can count that cash towards your net worth. Now, just traditional term life insurance, typically you do not count that towards your net worth, right? It's an opportunity for you to build wealth for your family, and I highly recommend that you do. But the cash value is what I'm talking about on those life insurance policies. Not all policies build cash value. So you could actually go in and look at that and see what that looks like for you. Now, this is in the world of Lynn. I do recommend that you speak with whomever your trusted advisor is that you're purchasing that insurance from to determine whether or not your policy bills cash value. Okay. And then once you have that, then you also can track that inside of your net worth sheet. But it depends whether you have whole life or term. Okay, so the reasons you're not investing, guys, of course, it's information overload. And it seems like, well, dang, yeah, Lynn, there's a lot of stuff you're talking about. You went from estate planning to net worth tracking, and we're talking about insurance and mortgages and everything else all in one conversation. Yeah, guys, because all of these things impact your finances. Everything impacts everything else when it comes to our financial picture and our financial situations. So that information overload is one of the things that we're trying to help you work through, but not only coming here to the morning show, but also joining us at the Circle and Moon, of course, on June 16th, because we're going to break it down. We're going to simplify this process. By the time you leave us on June 16th, you will have a 4-step process that's going to help you to get through the investing and simplify the process for you. My process is called UCLA. I cannot wait to share it with y'all. It's 4 steps. It's so easy to remember. You walk out and say, how do you invest? I invest with the UCLA method that Lynn Dimmons taught me. It's going to be off the chain, y'all. I want to see you on June 16th. So we're going to get you through that information overload process when it comes to investing. The other thing that you probably are challenged in, and what I hear from a lot of people, is you don't know how to pick the right stocks. UCLA is going to help you to go through that process, so that the U is to understand what are those things that you need to do to understand what it is that you're investing in. We'll be talking through the process, and I have a step-by-step system that you can use inside of the blueprint. Okay, so information overload, not knowing which stocks to pick, Don't worry about it. We have a system for that. It's called UCLA. In looking at it, oftentimes we let our emotions get in the way when it comes to investing. Now, there is not too much we can do about the emotions, right? Because your emotions are with you forever. But what we can do is to help you to channel those emotions, right? Because it's all about how you respond to different situations that determines the outcome for you. So we'll have a courageous conversation about now, how do you channel the fear? How do you watch what's going on inside of the markets and be okay with the decision that you've made, right? And how do we ensure that we're not being greedy when everyone else is being greedy? So how do we ensure that we're doing the opposite of the masses? What are the telltale signs that we need to be looking for that are going to allow us to be able to invest with confidence? That's what we'll be doing, y'all, at the Circle and Moon on June 16th. So join us so that you have the opportunity to go through that process with us, go through and figure out those different situations and decide, make a decision that you can sleep with, right? A decision that is not going to cause you to be worried. You're not going to be overwhelmed. And another reason that a lot of people say is, I don't want to lose money, Lynn. I don't want to lose money. Well, let me just say this, guys. There's risk in every investment. There was risk when you invested and actually purchased your home. If anyone tells you there is no risk, then they are absolutely lying to you. But what this system does is position you to win more than you lose. And then once you have an opportunity to now track this, you'll be able to see, okay, yeah, I did lose a couple of times, but I won more than I lost, right? And once you position yourself that way, in the grand scheme of things, you're not losing, you're actually gaining. That's how you learn to make your money, keep your money, and grow your money with the UCLA method, right? That system, guys, allows you to be able to position yourself better so that you can get to your next. And that's ultimately what it's about. It's about building generational wealth and being able to leave an inheritance for our children's children. But the challenge for us, guys, think about it this way. Think if there are 100 people on this broadcast, and I'm calling it to fruition. There will be 100 people live on these broadcasts, right? And these 100 people on this broadcast, 29 of them have on these black shirts like I have on, and 71 of them have on red shirts like JoJo has on, right? 29 to 71, that's 100, okay? If we look at it, guys, 29% of people are prepared for retirement, meaning they have enough money that they've now invested or set aside or inherited that they'll be able to retire without any problems. They'll still be able to go on the experiences and have those excursions that they want to have. They'll be able to spend time with their families. They'll be able to keep their vacation homes. But the other 71% of those people will not be able to. They'll either have to minimize, right, their lifestyle. They'll either have to scale back from the way that they were living while they were working, or they'll have to simply live in poverty. So do you want to position yourself, right, to be like the 29% or to stay like the 71%? Investing provides the opportunity to do that. But we have to take the ownership in this, in getting ourselves educated and actually getting started. And that's the challenge for many of us, getting started. Mm-hmm. So how do you now get started? Yes, you've started through your 401k at work, and that's a great place to start. But do you truly understand what it is that they've now asked you to do inside of that retirement account? Are you actually tracking it? Because ultimately, it is your responsibility, right? And you have to take ownership of that and go in there and track that thing. Most companies, most retirement companies or retirement plans that are available now, there's an app where you can actually download and go in and look, and you can make adjustments. They allow you to make adjustments inside of that app for each of your retirement accounts, but you don't touch it. You leave it as is from what you chose when you initially started working, right? You don't even go in and fiddle with any of the calculators that they have inside of the apps. You don't even go in and look to see, well, am I on track with what it is that I said I wanted to have? What was the goal that I initially set? All of these things are already inside of our apps, guys, with those accounts. But many of us fail to even go in and look at it, even go in and search, even to go in and call anybody and ask a question, to ask for advice. Right? And that's right, Charlene. They have to go back to work at retirement age because they don't have enough money, or they retired what they call too early, right? And they cannot now support themselves in the way that they wanted to. So how do you now better position yourself to change the story? Because you can do that. You have that option. You're still here. You still have today. You have that option to be able to change your story. So guys, that's why I invite you to come to the Circle and Moon on June 16th, where I'll be going through that 4-step method that is going to help you to invest with confidence. It's going to allow you to be able to push past the overwhelm as far as the information overload. It's going to be able to allow you to be able to do things differently in your finances. This strategy helps you to get to a different level. Exactly. It's not just about having the money saved. It's not just about that. You are so right. There are so many different things that come into those equations. And many of the apps that are out there, I do know for one of the retirement accounts that I happen to be in, when I go into that app, they have so many different things in there. They have a learning journey or pathway inside of there. They have different calculators inside of that app that help you to determine, hey, what are you going to be able to live off if this is the path that you continue to stay on, right? This is the amount of funding that you will have available to you for this long if you do this, right? So there's so many different things out there that are available to us, but we have to do the work. Remember, opportunity is missed by most because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like hard work. Mm-hmm. But it's not that hard. That's the big picture. That should be your aha moment today, guys. It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. Once you get the basic terminology down and you go in there and you see a couple of the little ins and outs, yes, some of those things may be a little bit more complex, but some of those things, some of that extra information is unnecessary for what we need to do right now. And what we need to do right now is get started and then be able to invest with confidence. And once you've gotten that started, you have your 401k or your IRA or whatever retirement account you have over here, you have that going. Now let's take some other opportunity to invest over here, because we're talking about diversification, not within an industry, but across multiple, right, industries. All right, guys, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach, and I just wanted to share that with you this morning. I know we talked about a lot. Oh, JoJo, I did it again. See, you got to stop me. You got to start putting up the one finger or the hold, please, or the timeout. That's what you need to start giving me. You got to give me a signal, because I will sit here and I will talk, right? Because I'm just too passionate about this thing. But guys, these are things that we must do, and I'm trying to give myself the timeout signal as well. All right? So guys, go ahead and take advantage of the information. Don't forget about nolo.com. I shared the book with you. Let me find it over here in the midst of all of my things. How do you lose a book on your desk?
I do that quite frequently.
Because it fell down. Don't forget Estate Planning Basics. Mm-hmm. And it's actually an easy read, just to be honest, right? It's an easy read. And then you don't have to read everything. Read what's important to you. Maybe you don't have small kids that you need to leave, create a trust account for. Maybe you have adult kids. So read that section. You pick and choose the different sections that you need that are relevant for your life. It's as simple as that. All right, guys, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. And yes, I said it, #1. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, the only live past crazy specialist.
All right, guys, I posted that NOLA link up there too. And I think I may have a discount. So if you send me a message, I think I have a discount code for you. So send me an email and I will, or a message on Facebook, and I'll send you my discount code. I think I have one. So you can get your discount on some of the products. So thank you, Cousin Carl. We appreciate you. We thank you for joining. All right, guys. So the fearless thought for today, and this is just a reminder for you. So when you're getting caught up and you thinking, one thing, I just want you to understand, the truth does not need your opinion to be true. And whomever you blame, you also empower. So I think earlier this week I talked about you've got to have a true conversation with yourself, an honest conversation with yourself about your contribution to your crazy, because you are contributing to your crazy at some point, if not 100% of the time. So you got to face the truth about that. And the truth does not need your opinion, meaning it's not going to change. It's always going to be the truth. My abuser can tell you all day long everything that I did to make him want to push me out of a moving car, to make him want to kill me, to make him want to not feed me. He can give you that stuff all day long. However, the truth remains the same. The truth does not need your opinion to be true. Period. That's right, Charlene. Whether we want to admit it or not, we all play a part in the crazy in our life. So you can play a part in living past craziest too. And whomever you blame, you also empower. On this journey to live past crazy, y'all, you got to recognize the truth, recognize your part in it, but then also stop blaming people for it. Okay, and here's the thing. Yes, it may be that person that caused your current situation. That is absolutely true. However, once we get past victim and we become survivor and we become overcomer, I no longer need to empower the person that hurt me, because if I do, right, I'm still holding on to that and they still have the power. At some point, you've got to let it go. You have to breathe, because if you don't, my friend, it will choke you to death. It will always be on your mind, because you are always, your why and your purpose is going to be different. It's not going to be true to who you are at your core, because you are blaming, you're continuing to blame somebody else or hold them accountable for something that they did. Yes, they did, but you've got to let it go. Remember, forgiveness is for you and not for them. So whomever you blame, you also empower. And that simply means if you continue to interact with that negative energy, if you can continue to interact with that same problem, you are empowering to grow all the time, more and more, and it will not stop. And you'll wonder, why is this crazy continuing in my life? And that's exactly why, because you are empowering the crazy. You're talking about it all the time. You're interacting with it all the time. You telling it, hey, you driving me crazy, but I want you to keep driving me crazy, because that's all I want to talk about. The truth, that's right. It is what it is. The truth doesn't need proof, and it doesn't need your opinion. The truth is the truth. And here's the thing about the truth. And as a survivor of domestic violence, I tell people, and this can apply to domestic violence, it can apply to life, period. If it's the truth, you can tell it with your, I don't care where you come in at my story. I'm going to tell you the same thing all the time. I don't care where you ask me to pick up my story from. It's going to be the same story all the time. The truth doesn't change. It's going to be consistent. It's going to tell you the exact same story. Period. Mm-hmm. It only states facts. And so if a lot of times, I ain't gonna say I yell at my kids, but I yell at them sometimes when I say, we only deal with facts in this house, period, because that's all I can handle. What are the facts? The fact is, and then we're gonna listen. We only deal with truths here. If it's not the truth, then we can't deal with it, because then we open ourselves up to give something else power, and it's not, and I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. So today, this is just a reminder, the truth does not need your opinion. It is what it is. So you got to face the truth about your situation, whether it be your finances or your life. And now you got to decide what you're going to do about it. And then you can't keep blaming others, because if you do, you are also empowering them. Who are you giving your power away to today? Is it your money? Are you giving your power away to your money? Are you giving it away to that crazy job, that crazy relationship, that crazy friendship? Who are you giving your power to? So I just want to leave you guys with something to think about this weekend. So you can do a little soul searching, a little working this weekend, because that's what the Fearless Morning Show is all about. Confessions and conversations over here. And remember, guys, just that I talked about passing down that legacy. So when you're looking at your truth and you're thinking about that, remember, you're setting your family up to pass down that legacy, your principles, your pattern, and being persistent. So be mindful of all of that today. So that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. Remember, for a chance to win the free tickets to the Great Escape Mini, June 16th in Roswell, Georgia. I think I didn't pin it, so I'm gonna post it one more time. 3 things you have to do. You have to like the Fearless Morning Show page. You have to share our video, and then you have to give us one takeaway of what you learned from the show. So, and then we'll pick a winner, and that is all week long. This is my birthday month, y'all, so we're going to be celebrating all week long in some kind of way. For right now, we're leading up to June 16th at the Circle and Moon in Roswell, Georgia. So make sure you enter. You can enter as many times as you like, long as you are sharing the videos and telling us what your takeaways are. You will be entered to win, and so we'll be keeping track and watching that as well. Anything else? I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. Am I missing anything, Lynn?
The only other thing that's available is this Saturday. If you are interested in joining us for the call, there's an information to call on what to expect at the Circle and Moon. So if you text finances to 345-345, you can receive the call-in information to join us for that conversation and get your questions answered. If you have any questions in particular that you would like for us to address, or say, hey, it's something I've been thinking about. Is this something that you'll be covering at the event? Bring those questions to us. Text the keyword finances to 345-345. That call is tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Okay. Don't forget, guys, to share the video. I said, if your friends and family do not have Facebook, let's not forget that we have a YouTube channel. So we need you guys to go over there and like that. Of course, share it, leave a comment as well, join that, so that way you can have us on download and you can share it with other people. Now that you know, you are charged to go share it with somebody else. Oh, I'm not forgetting that, Trenda. I'm not. Was Trenda on here the other morning when I told Lynn, well, everybody, that Courtney recorded me singing my favorite 90s rap song? And Trenda, not only was I singing, I was dancing it. What? And Lynn was like, oh, I'm calling Courtney. So Courtney is blackmailing me to the 10th degree. Do you hear me? So right now I'm at the mercy of a 21-year-old because she got me on video singing and dancing. You could not tell me I was not rapping, period. I know Charlene was there, but I don't think Trenda was on. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the singing alone. I'm gonna stay in my little lane for right now. But for the record, I did think I was MC Light as a kid. So don't get it twisted. Don't let Paper Thin come on. Then it's all over with, because then I'm turning MC Light. All right, guys. Don't forget to register. For a chance to win tickets to the Great Escape Mini. Those 3 things. You got to like the Fearless Morning Show fan page. You got to share the video. Put hashtag shared on there so that we can track it. And then list one takeaway that you learned from the show. So now, and then share that takeaway with somebody else, guys. Now that you know, you are charged with sharing it with somebody else. That is your duty. We are educating our community one person at a time. So don't call Court Trend. It's okay. Don't call her. She sleep. Don't even bother. Don't bother poke her. All right, guys. I thank you for joining the morning show. And like Lynn said, we are expecting hundreds and hundreds of people on our live every morning. So y'all share this show so that we can share the information that people need to know on how to live past crazy in their life and their finances. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to text finances to 345-345 so you can hear about the show. What you can expect for the Great Escape Mini on the 16th, and that's Saturday at 10 a.m. Anything else, Lynn? I think I got everything.
Oh, Trenda, I'll be good. I'm looking to see you tomorrow at the Atlanta Expo tomorrow morning. I need to call you about the dress code too. So talk to you later. Thank you guys for joining
All
us.
right,
Sorry about
guys.
that. I just had to shout that out.
Have a great weekend.
Signing
Have
off.
a good weekend, y'all. See you in the morning.